Listen, if you're an indie filmmaker or animator, you've probably done this before. Spent weeks, maybe months, building an idea, more characters, more world building, more complexity, and somehow it still doesn't work. Meanwhile, a tiny comic about a short guy with a mustache and his friend who just really likes food quietly solved most of your problems.
Someone get vital statistics! Tell the chief it's important!
He's in a meeting. Can I take a message?
Yeah, Asterix. And once you see what it's doing right, you can't unsee it. In this video, I'll be breaking down 8 real pain points most creators struggle with and how this simple story quietly solves every one of them. Pain 1, my idea is too small. Most creators believe this. My idea isn't big enough, so you add more lore, more characters, more backstory, because you think that's what great stories do, right? But look at Asterix. Same setup, every story. And it worked. Worldwide.
Here is 50 BC. All of Gaul is occupied by the Romans.
All? No.
Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your idea isn't too small, it's just not clear. Asterix works because you understand it instantly. Tiny village versus massive empire, David versus Goliath. If your idea needs a long explanation, then that's your first problem, and most creators never fix this. Pain 2, I don't have a budget. Let's talk about the biggest pain point, money or the lack of it. No VFX, no huge crews, no endless locations. So what do most creators do? They try to fake scale, and that's where things start breaking. Now look at Asterix again. Same forest, same village, same characters, over and over. Not because they were stuck, but because they understood something most creators miss. The goal is not to go bigger, but to go deeper with what you already have. If you can squeeze maximum value out of limited tools, you don't need permission, budget, or approval. That mindset alone changes everything. Pain 3, will people connect to my story? This one hits especially hard for global creators. You think, my story won't relate, my culture won't translate, my story is too local. If you've ever thought this, listen carefully. Asterix is extremely culturally specific. French humor, European history, local references everywhere.
Not true! We were already morons way before the Romans came!
And yet, it traveled the world. Why, you may ask? Because under the cultural flavor, it's really about being underestimated.
They will kiss my boot!
Friendship. Protecting who you are.
We could thrash him! Give the Romans a licking!
That's it! That was my idea!
Those issues and the emotions in them are universal. That's how local stories go global. Pain 4, my story feels flat. You ever finish a script and it just feels empty? No punch, no rhythm, no memory. This is where most stories quietly fail. Asterix avoids this with something most creators resist. Welcome to structure. Every story follows a rhythm. Problem, journey, chaos, victory, feast. Same structure every time. And somehow it never gets boring because structure doesn't kill creativity, it protects it. If your story feels weak, you don't need more ideas, you need a stronger framework. Think of what a skeleton means to a body. Now, picture a super strong skeleton. Frameworks are not your enemy. Pain 5, originality is hard. Let's talk about the pressure to be original. You want something never seen before, so you overthink, you overdesign, you never finish. This is where some creators get stuck, sometimes for years. Asterix is not new, it's history, it's comedy, it's parody. All things that already existed, but combined in a way that felt fresh. That's the real secret. Originality doesn't have to be invention. It could be a mix, a combination. Look for something that already exists. Now make something new with it. Once you understand this, creative paralysis disappears. Pain 6, my characters are forgettable. Let me test you. Think of Asterix characters. You instantly know who's who. Because they are not complex, they are clear. The clever one, the strong one, the dramatic leader.
Yes, we can!
No, we can't!
Huh? Okay, so we can't thrash the Romans.
The annoying bard. You don't remember complexity, you remember clarity. If a character can't be described in one sentence, it's not ready yet. Pain 7, depth versus entertainment. Here's another common struggle. If your story is only deep, people get bored. If it's only fun, it feels empty. Asterix solved this quietly. On the surface, it's silly.
If you think you can knock down one tree per night and then sit around growing toe fungus, zip it, toe fungus.
Underneath is talking about power, Control.
The invincible might of Rome, like the talons of the falcon. It is closed upon every single continent.
Identity.
Except here.
Everyone take a nice big swig!
No.
Depth is hidden inside the entertainment, and that's just the move. Don't just show your message, smuggle it in. That's how stories travel without resistance. Pane 8, I want to build something that lasts. Most content today, they trend and then disappear. Asterix has lasted decades. Why? Because it's built on a simple core idea. Strong identity, repeatable structure, timeless themes.
We are gonna deforest our forest.
Not trends. If you're building in the long term, this matters. No, wait, it's crucial. Views fade, meaning lasts. Too many ideas, too many directions. Asterix, clear formula, clear execution.
One small village of indomitable Gauls still holds out.
What a silly idea.
Finished again and again. Clarity leads you to completion. If your idea is too complex to execute, it'll stay in your head forever. So, yeah, Asterix looks like a simple funny comic, but underneath, it solves idea problems, budget problems, story problems, character problems, mindset problems, which are exactly what creators everywhere struggle with. So maybe the real question isn't how do I make something big? Maybe the real question is how do I make something that actually works? Because clearly, you don't need an empire to win.
Yeah,
Sometimes a small, stubborn idea is enough.
I'm in a pretty pickle, aren't I?
If you're a creator watching this, which part hit you the hardest? Drop it in the comments. And if you would like to see more breakdowns like this, you know what to do. Thanks for watching.